This is a 2007 Toyota Camry with a 3.5-liter V6 2GR-FE engine. In this video, we're going to be replacing the heater hoses. It's the same engine that you find in many other vehicles: Highlander, RAV4, Avalon, Toyota Sienna minivan, Lexus vehicles, RX 350, ES 350, and much of what we're going to do here applies directly to those vehicles as well. Why we are replacing the heater hoses is because we have just done a replacement of the radiator and the coolant system has been drained, and this makes it a very good time to turn our attention to these heater hoses. Now, coolant hoses are a wear item, and should they fail, they present a risk to the engine of overheating and damaging the head gaskets. So these are probably the original heater hoses on the car, and we are going to just take this opportunity to eliminate that risk. Now, the heater hoses go from the side of the engine right here back to the firewall, where you can maybe see them. And to do this job, it's absolutely necessary to remove the air box and the intake duct. We're going to start by releasing the airbox cover. It has these snaps that go all the way around. There, we're going to loosen up this clamp that holds the cover of the airbox to the rest of the intake duct. This is actually the resonator, and we're going to disconnect this mass airflow sensor. As you can see here, I've moved this airbox cover out of the way. Now I can remove this duct. I just have to loosen up this clamp right here and disconnect this rubber hose, and then the entire intake duct can be moved out of the way. Now I have as good of an access as I'm ever going to have to these heater hoses. There is where they go into the firewall, and they have clamps on them. I will give you some tips for how to detach the hoses from there. And they come out of the coolant neck, which is right here on the side of the engine. Here you can see that I've loosened the clamp that goes on one of the hoses that go into the heater core, and I just used this long plier to do that. Now I'm going to give you the most important tip of this entire video. Never attempt to squeeze the hose with any kind of pliers or channel lock or anything like that. If you squeeze this hose, it is sitting on a very thin aluminum nipple. You will bend that nipple, and after that it will never seal properly. So instead, what you want to do is take a razor blade like this one, for example, and just slice the hose in the longitudinal direction, right where it goes in. And by slicing it, you will loosen it from the nipple and it will come right off. Okay, so here you see how I sliced up the end of that hose, and there you should be able to see how the nipple is still perfectly round, so it will seal perfectly when I put the new hose on it. This is the hose that goes from the bottom nipple on the engine side to the top nipple on the heater core side, and the replacement matches up nicely with the original. I will include the part numbers for these hoses in the video description. And this is the piece that goes from the bottom at the core to the top at the neck, and again, it's a good fit. And these are Gates hoses. I am going to use these screw clamps instead of the original clamps, because the original clamps never fit properly on the aftermarket hoses. Everything is back where it belongs. Be sure to tighten these worm clamps extra tight, because they do stretch a little bit and loosen up in practice. Notice there is this funny little origami kind of crisscross pattern with these hoses. Be aware of that. While I'm at it, I'm also going to replace these heater hoses, these two little hoses for the throttle body. because these also present a risk of failure. And for these, I'm just going to use generic heater hose. I think it's 5/16 or it may be 1/4. I'm just going to take them to the parts store and match them up. This is some generic coolant hose. I got it from the Napa parts store. You can get this kind of hose anywhere. It is 5/16 coolant hose. I'm going to cut this hose with this precision coolant hose knife. And there are the new hoses cut to length and back in place. I even transferred the protective insulation or ribbing or whatever you want to call it. And with these, I did use the original clamps. They were not a problem to install at all. Everything is back in place. I'm going to show you the correct housing of the vacuum hoses. You have one that comes off of the air box right here, comes back to a T that loops back. You have a little loop here that goes to this damper from here, and this one here, long one, goes into the resonator, and another one that goes to the intake. Now to refill the system, I use this setup right here, a filler funnel. And this is really one of the most useful things you can have for filling these coolant systems. And one more very important hint, right down here where I'm going to show you with this light is a purge valve. Okay, hope you can see it. And you use a 10mm socket to open this purge valve while you're filling, and this allows air to come out of the system. So what I've done here is I've put a clear tube on top of the bleed nipple, and you can see the coolant is starting to flow up into this tube, and I'm just rerouting it back into the funnel, and so that if it does come up, it just won't make a mess everywhere. And there it's coming up to a nice level. If I move this tube, it rises even higher. So I think we're good as far as getting the air out of the system. And I'm going to squeeze the hoses a little bit just to make sure I got most of the bubbles out. Then I'm going to close up the purge valve, and I'm going to run the engine. I've started the engine. I'm leaving the funnel right here. I'm going to wait for the thermostat to open. Now I'm going to monitor the engine coolant temperature right here, and this is just to be cautious to make sure that it does not get away from us for any reason. Temperature is now over 70 degrees centigrade, and we get to about 80-85 centigrade. That's when the thermostat should open, and I can verify that the thermostat has opened when this hose right here turns hot. We're at 97 degrees. The fans have just come on, but the lower radiator hose is still cold. I'm going to shut off the engine. So what went on here is that there was apparently air trapped in this lower radiator hose or in the thermostat inlet right there. So by repeatedly squeezing this hose, squeezing it with bubbles coming out here, it finally broke the airlock, and now the coolant is flowing through and the hose has turned hot. So fans are off, all is good. We averted a disaster just by being vigilant. And here you can see that what's happening is exactly what's supposed to happen. After the thermostat opens, any air that remains in the system circulates and flows out through the funnel. You can see the bubbles rising. This completes the repair on this Toyota Camry. And of course we're going to take it out for a test drive. And if there is anything new to add, we'll let you know. But you can just safely assume that this repair was successful. Thank you for watching.